These fans are coming out despite this rain, despite this cold weather. They're setting up tents for tailgating, and as we know, Little Rock tailgating is something special. Now, in Little Rock, these air conditioning units at churches are hot commodities. So instead of letting it happen again, they've now decided to bolt them to the floor. You know, I'm feeling really out of place in my blue and black. There's just a sea of red. You can check out all the fans out here. You can't see from the outside is that the structure has remained intact. However, the inside is completely destroyed. You can see behind me, guys, it really comes in waves, but those waves have been non-stop. And you know, $1 million is a lot of money, but you know, bragging rights is something too.
On a legal lure?
Yeah.
You're going to stick
You
on
know how
that?
Arkansans are about fishing.
That's
It's a very
true.
serious sport. No, it sure didn't, Bob. The steps of the Arkansas State Capitol were just full of people from every age, background, race, because as the speaker said today, this march was about everyone coming together for the same cause. Well, hey, Kevin, we got the ordinances from Searcy Police today. They list 2 breeds that require special housing for their owners to build: pit bulls and Rottweilers.
Here's my dog, Harley.
Unlike his other 2 dogs, Dennis Woodall has to keep a close eye on Harley.
I get a citation for letting my dog run loose in its own fenced-in backyard.
And not because he's an aggressive dog.
He lives with 2 Chihuahuas. They're meaner than he is.
The only aggression we see during our visit comes from Tippy, the tiny one. Harley doesn't so much as bark.
Just friendly.
But Woodall is stuck trying to figure out what to do with Harley, because Searcy City ordinances say because he's a pit, he's not allowed to roam free in his own backyard.
Him and Rottweilers.
Ordinance Section 621 states vicious dogs must be kept in a secure pen with secure sides and top.
That if I don't build this pen or this cage, they will give me a $500 fine, and they'll take the dog and euthanize him.
A 4-year-old White County child was killed by pit bulls in November after entering the dog's enclosure. Woodall doesn't think his dog should be judged based on its breed. He says it should be a case-by-case scenario.
Is he aggressive? If he is aggressive, then yes, by all means, they should be put down. But that's with any dog.
But for a dog, he says, that has done nothing wrong.
It's not fair to the dog.
Woodall now has to appear before a White County judge at the end of February for letting Harley roam free in his fenced-in yard, guys.
Just watching your story, kind of looked like Harley knew you were talking about him.
Yeah. It's like,
What's going on here? This doesn't look good.
Honestly.
But what's he planning to do after the hearing?
Well, you know, he absolutely doesn't want to have to do this, but he is in contact with some pit bull rescue services, so hopefully he'll be able to find him a good home if he isn't able to keep him in the fenced-in yard. He says his backyard is just too small.
Too small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, you know, that's really unfortunate. He really is a sweet little dog.
Harley seemed rather tame.
Yeah, well, he was neutered today, so he was a little sedated.
Oh,
that explains a lot.
But he was a really sweet little dog.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you for that.
Jessica, those who knew him best said he was a man who had his priorities in order, that he was a man of faith, family, and brotherhood.
I've heard many people say many wonderful things about this great man.
Colonel Jeff Crow with Arkansas Game and Fish eulogized one of his best men today.
Where do we find such men who would place himself in such peril?
His fellow servicemen came in droves to say goodbye, as did the people of Scott County, who Campora gave his life to keep safe. He's remembered today as someone many looked up to.
Not only courageous in the way that he passed, but courageous in the way that he lived his life.
A service being held just down the road from the river that took his life.
Out there in the wild areas of Arkansas doing what he loved to do, and we're certainly going to miss him.
Hundreds of people attended the service today, and they came from all around Scott County, braving extreme temperatures. In fact, 2 people had to be carted off in ambulances after suffering from heat stroke, so that just shows how important it was for them to be here. We're live in Scott County. Jocelyn Tovar, KRK4 News. Bob, how many Christmas puns can we fit into one story? At least one more. The naughty list just got a little longer when this driver of a white truck with silver lining didn't even stop to help.
There's the trademark laugh, and of course the twinkle in his eye.
Merry Christmas.
The beard that's very real. Even his license plate reads, shh. But this sleigh wasn't headed for the North Pole Wednesday evening.
Mrs. Claus and I were on our way to Pine Bluff.
On their way to visit a children's ministry, a boys and girls club, to answer kids' questions and, of course, listen to what they want for Christmas.
And then we heard
A much less cheerful sound.
the screeching of tires behind us, and then, bam, we got hit.
Drivers, they say, rolled down windows to take pictures. Maybe this driver who hit them didn't look very hard, because as they waited for police, they looked up just in time to see
Just roared and swerved around us and took off down that exit.
real Christmas Grinch. He didn't even stop to check on them.
Santa's always watching.
But just remember, who will have the last laugh?
Definitely on the naughty list.
They say if the person does the right thing and comes forward with his information, the real Santa will repay him handsomely in candy canes.
Now, while they weren't able to make it to Pine Bluff to see those boys and girls, they are rescheduling that event. And get this, Santa's helper is even well enough. He's going to be in tomorrow's Christmas parade. Bob, back to you.